Recording has started.
Okay, good evening everyone, and welcome to the Adobe XD Level Up Workshop. I guess I can't see myself speaking, but hopefully it's me that's showing on the screen for the most part. So yeah, we can just hop right into it. Last time I did this, I introduced myself. So hi, I'm DeLauryn Brown, and I'm a Georgia Tech student. I'm a CM major, and I'm going to be walking us through a quick little, fairly quick activity with Adobe XD. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, can my screen be seen?
Yep.
Yes.
I think it should be. Okay, cool. Great. So when Adobe XD is opened, this is essentially what's going to be seen. In my experience, the difference between Adobe XD and like all the rest of the Adobe apps is that it's like on light mode and not night mode, which I think is, or like, dark mode or whatever. And I have never changed that or tried to, because it's kind of refreshing in my opinion. But if that bothers you, then I guess you can figure out how to change it or not. I'm not sure if that's a feature. However, the thing that is the same is that you're going to open up to like a home screen, and it's going to give you a couple of preset options for how you can start your like artboard. It'll show you like some of your recent works. And these are some past projects that I've done. And so when you want to get started with a new one, which we will do for this workshop, you can create a custom height or width size, but I'm going to go ahead and start with like an iPhone XS 11 Pro type artboard, because we are going to, okay, here we go, great. So we are going today to create like a login slash sign in page for like say an app or anything like that. We're just going to go as far as login and sign in just for the sake of me showing some of the basic features of the application and how like prototyping works with this app. So you're going to be presented with your first artboard when you first open it, similar to the other Adobe formats. Like you will have to your left, you will have um, like the different like editing tools on the side. Oh, why is it not showing when you hover? Okay, so this is like, okay, there we go. Rectangle, ellipse, polygon, line, pen, text, artboard, and then zoom. Then down here, this shows you your assets. So we don't have any right now, but as we work through this assignment, or sorry, this activity, assets like kind of saves some of the features and like characteristics that you use on the artboard and puts and you can put it in here. So like they'll save colors that you use, font and like type styles and additional components. Here you'll have layers. So or like, okay, I see this as layers because that's what this icon looks like, but this shows you all of your different artboards. So we're actually going to use two artboards in this activity, and we'll get to that um, like later on, and you guys will be able to see that. But like in past projects that I've had like 50 artboards in like one project, kind of wireframing like an like a cellular device like application, and it can even get more than that. Like the artboards can really get like it can become a lot. And then the last one is just plugins. We're not going to be using any plugins today, but if you did have any, that's how you would access them. And Adobe XD also has the feature of design where we will be like physically like doing things with the artboard, and it also has a feature where you can prototype, so it will allow you to incorporate interactivity with the things that you design, and we'll go through that later as well. So let's start with the design. All I did was click and drag to make this square, this rectangle that I did before. And you saw over to the right, once I did that, some like new features or like some new properties kind of popped up and populated on this side. So what we're going to do is create, oh wait, before we start, let's go ahead and name this project. So double click up here, and I'm going to name it level, actually, I'll say Adobe XD level up. Great. That's what that'll be named, and save. And mine's gonna save to my cloud documents. Wait, I don't think I want that. I think I would like, no, cancel. Okay, I'm just gonna have it saved to my cloud documents, that's fine. Sometimes it gives you the option to save to your computer, but that's not a big deal, right? So the name of the file is up here. Okay, it'll show you your document history, and like different things that you like, the different edits and changes that you made if you click on that drop down arrow. But you can also name each artboard. So if I go up here right now, it just says like the name of the preset that we used, 1, because this is the first artboard. So like if I were to add an artboard, another one, let's see, yeah. Then it says it has the same name and like does 2, but for now we're gonna get rid of this. Delete. Okay. And go back to our first artboard. I'll create this, I'm gonna call this login page. Login. There we go. And we're gonna create a background for this page. So I'm gonna go ahead and just align this rectangle with the entire artboard. I think I went a little bit over there. So here we go. On the side, we can come to, like there's a whole bunch of different alignment options. Obviously like height, width, like where it's placed and whatnot. We don't need to worry about response right now, but that can be a thing in the future. What we're gonna do is go to fill. And I'm feeling like, I don't know, okay, I like purple a lot. Like purple is one of my favorite colors. So I'm gonna go to purple. Like something that's not extremely overwhelming. Okay, I'm feeling this. This is like lavendery. So, okay, as you can see here, like it obviously changed the background of they changed the color of the background of the shape that we just made. So I could click and drag this shape and it's not like, it is not changing the artboard, it is changing this shape, to make that clear. Also, like if I were to drag this off and then were to go like click up here to the right and like align it center, it would do that, and then it would line it center again. So that would like also bring it, if you ever mess up anything and you want to bring things back to like central, then you can do that as well. Additionally, when we pressed fill, oh wait, it looks like opacity is not at 100, and I don't know why it's showing that it is. We could additionally change the opacity like from where it is, and it will adjust. However, when we move this obviously not 100% opaque. However, for the sake of this workshop, we're just gonna keep trucking right along. Okay, so we've got our background. Great. Now, let's say I want to go ahead and like make it we can do a little square right here or something. This will be like the area of main content on our page. Go ahead and center that. And I'll leave it white. Sure, let's leave it white for now. We can go ahead and add some text right here and say it's like Delo is my nickname, so we'll do that. Delo's app. That up here. Nice. Oh, go ahead and center it. Just make that easy on her. Move it down a little bit. I can increase the size of the font by, I can double click and change the size. Well, actually, I don't need to double click, but I could change it over here. There we go. Yeah. And it obviously increased the size of the font. There we go. And when you like move things around the page, you can see the alignment, like I guess help feature like pop up, and that's really nice when you're like worrying about how to align things if you're not gonna use, if you can't just use these things on the side. So like if I wanted to align it with the left side of this box, then like that also comes up. So we're here. I can also click and drag and make the font like as large or as small as I want using that the little circle. So we can, I'm gonna go ahead and make it about in line with the square. Move it up a little bit, boom. Okay, and then add some more text. And obviously make this login page. These are just like irrelevant design, these are like design decisions that are like not relevant to this app. But if you had certain requirements, these are obviously things that you would add into the into your design. So I want this to look like I have two tabs for like login versus sign in. And so in order for me to do that, I'm going to move this login over right here. I can go ahead and press Control C and then Control V and copy it. Oh wait, here we go. Click Control V, copy. There we go. So now we have another one. Oh wait, I think I made 3 actually. Delete. There we go. So now I just have 2 of those, and we can see that there's 2 in my goodness gracious, what is this called? Okay, in the layers component. So I'm going to split this half and half. This is just the way I'm deciding to make this page as well. Like you can do a whole bunch of different things. You can do login, and then we can say sign up here. Okay, adjust those as needed. Now I can insert maybe like another ellipse here. I'll do shift and drag, that way it'll make it a circle for me. Actually no, that's not the direction I want to go. I'm gonna include another rectangle here, and watch, this is probably the most fun part. But I'll include this here, and then click on one of the circles inside of like the border, and I can drag that in order to round the edges of the circle. So that's gonna be, say we want to put like, if you log in, then you'll need to put your username here, boom. So I double clicked inside of the shape. Now I can create the username. Text, and I can align that as I please. Usually it looks about like this, like it's centered. So there we go. I can decrease the opacity, but it looks more suggestive, and it's not like folds in your face. Typically it's down to like maybe 40. Line that up. Okay, great. And then I can do the same thing by select, press the rectangle. Okay, I'm gonna go, I think this is a rectangle. Oh, it's a rectangle 2 is selected. Okay, so I'm gonna lock this rectangle so that I don't adjust it as I adjust the things inside of it. So I'm gonna click and drag over this box here, and what I can inside. Oh, God, I guess I have to lock the background as well. So I'm going to do that. Oh, 1, okay, here. We're gonna lock this as well, that way it doesn't move and it doesn't select what I want to select. There we go. Okay, so I have everything I want selected, and I can go up here to the right and say repeat grid. And scroll down and look at that. It's gonna, like, as far as I want to go, it would give me, it's gonna repeat vertically like what I have selected. So I really just want 2 of them so I can make something for username and password. If I go to the left, like it would be the same. I mean, sorry, to the right, it would be the same thing. which is a really cool feature, and it saves so much time, especially when you're using like when you have, for example, like say I was listing like temperatures or something like that on like a temperature app, and like I was giving you the temperature of a whole bunch of different cities, like instead of having to format each one of them individually, I could create a grid and then just change the content. Then once that is created, you can ungroup this grid and they'll turn into two separate assets. And now I can go in and I can change this from saying username to password. And I will decrease the opacity on this as well. 40. Okay, so here we have our login page. And just to show that, like, for say, maybe just to clean this up a little bit, honestly, I'm going to round this as well. Maybe not as much. No, I don't like that. Maybe not as much as the others. Just slightly. There we go. And I can like make sign up. I can decrease that in opacity so that it looks like login is selected. 30. Okay, cool. So here is our login page. And like just to continue on with like additional features you may want to include, login pages usually have like forgot password on the bottom. So you can include that. Yeah. Increase the size of this by a lot. Maybe make it like change colors. Get on here. I'll make it blue. A very blue, and then I can decrease the opacity with this. Yeah, there we go. All right, and now people can know to click that in any case if they forget their password. All right, let's see what else on this page for now. I think this is okay. So if I want to create another artboard, I did this earlier, but I shall demonstrate it again. I can, let's see, can I? Okay, so for the sake of time, typically this is a very common like action to take. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this artboard. So on my layers panel, I can go to login, click duplicate. It's going to give me another, thank you for the toggling, Adobe XD. But it's going to give me another over control centered on the page. It's going to give me another artboard. And so instead of me having to like repeat all of the actions that I did, I can just go ahead and change what has already been made. So here instead I'm going to decrease this opacity. So I think I had it at like 30 before. 30. I can create the sign up page, increase that to 100 like before. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and extend this rectangle, include the sign up features. We can take out forgot password. I literally just selected it and pressed delete. And what I'm going to do, say we want, okay, so sign up, we should include like first name, last name, email, and password. Okay, great. So that's first name, last name, email, password. What's another thing? Username. Okay, so say the username is different than email. So if we want to do 5 things, I can either include, I can either, here, click here, go to my layers. Let me go ahead and lock this again so that I don't mess myself up like I did last time. Lock. Also going to lock rectangle 1. Perfect. Click out of that. I can either select this specific group right here and, I can select this specific group, press repeat grid, and do what I did before for 5 different squares, which I think is what I'm going to go ahead and do. The other option that I was gonna say is I could have selected both and say I was gonna do like I needed 6 of them. Oh my goodness, I keep forgetting to press repeat grid. Okay, so I did 6 of them. Oh wait, no, here we go. Great. So the thing is like it won't show you the equal distribution between like the username and password group, but we already know that that's a thing because we did the same technique with those objects as well. But so we have 5 different shapes here. I'm going to go ahead and ungroup this grid. Oh no, it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Never mind. So we cannot just do, it'll always give you the, like if you repeat the grid and then have it on a fraction of like one of the last objects, then it looks like it's going to go ahead and fill in the last object for you. So I'm going to undo that and undo it again. I can ungroup this. There we go. Inside of this group, I'm going to go ahead and delete this. There we go. Now I only have here, repeat grid, give us 5. Now inside of here, this will be first name, last name, email, username. Oh, that's already says username, so we don't need to change that. And password. Okay. Boom. There we go. So this is still considered, I'm going to go ahead and ungroup this. There we go. We'll be able to access these individually. So now I have my login page, my sign up page. I'm going to, let's see, if we were going to add a little bit of depth to this, what we can do also is, okay, let me unlock this shape and we can add shadows to, go ahead and ungroup these. Actually, no, I'll leave them grouped. There's no reason not to for this. So if I wanted to go ahead and like create a little bit of dimension for the design, I could take the border off and, well, honestly, I like borderless things anyway. So let's take the border off of, oops, let's take the border off of this too. I think that's like a little bit prettier. And we can add a shadow to it. And when we do that, it will give us the option to like adjust where the shadow is. So if you can see like how this shadow popped up along the bottom, that's like the automatic setting, which I personally like. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. Have something to reference. Let's say I increased this to like 10. On the x-axis, it's going to move 10 units to the right. And then if I were to do -10, the same thing would happen on the left. I do not think I want a shadow to go right or left. I like the bottom shadow, but we could make it a little bit, we can move it down a little bit. I'm going to say, actually, let's go 10 down. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, there we go. Adds a little bit of dimension there. And B is for, I don't know what word that stands for, but it's going to make the shadow like more prominent or less prominent. Like it's 100. Oh, okay. B stands for blur. There we go. So that's like 99% blurred, and you can obviously tell that there's something there compared to this, but it just looks very blurry, which I guess is the exact goal. And then if it's 1, then here we go. We have like this almost duplicate shape looking kind of shadow that's not really opaque or blurred at all. So If you're going for more of an animated look, then I would say like less blur. However, I think the blur, I think it was on originally like 6. I kind of like that. So we'll do the same for this. I don't remember what I just did. Okay, there we go. 10 and 6. And so now you have 2 very similar pages. Let's see. Okay, I figured it out. So I'm on my mouse, and sometimes I use my trackpad for this, so it's a little bit different using your trackpad on your laptop, for example, or your mouse. But in order to move around the board, I'm clicking on like my little scroll, like I don't know what the name of this is, but the little item in the middle of my mouse that lets me, the little object in the middle of my mouse that lets me scroll, like up and down. And then so if I click down on that, then like it'll grab and let me move around the screen, which is so much better than what I was doing before. Okay, so here is my app. I'm gonna show you a few. I mean, this is like these were all the most simple features that you can do. Like you can go, or in terms of the design, like you can go much more into depth. You can like import icons into this in order to like make it more interactive. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and add like a login and a sign up button at the bottom. And I think that's what we'll use more of the shadow for. This is just me making some little changes. I'm gonna make this shadow smaller. Let's make it 2. There we go. So it's very slight. Same with this. Then what we can do, so I like a little bit of dimension there, but what we can do now is add another shape here. Okay, no, I don't like that. We're just gonna stick with the rounded rectangle. Make this one a little bit smaller, a little bit thicker. There we go. I mean, sorry, a little bit shorter and thicker. And center it, which should be good. Okay, cool. Round out these edges as well. But here we go, like to about here. And fill it up. Make this purple as well. It's slightly darker purple than the background, so it looks like a button. We'll take the border off. Add it. Okay, actually, so okay, so I'll show this. We can do the same thing we did before with the shadow. I'm not going to change the color of the shadow. That's a bit much. But I'm going to make the shadow what I had on the login before. Nope, doesn't work as well that way. Let's do 5. Let's make the shadow a little bit darker. Yeah, there we go. I like that. 50% about, yeah, there we go, 50%. Okay, so now we have something that looks like a button, like something that looks like it should be interacted with. I'm gonna add some text to that. There we go. Log in, and you saw as I double clicked on into the shape, this text is like it centered itself within the shape, or at least the cursor centered itself within the shape. And I center the text. I guess I have to move it. There we go, but it's okay because I was able to see where the center was off the strength of them giving me the alignment, which I love about this app, and I wish every app ever had that same feature. I'm gonna change the fill of this to black. And I'm gonna make it completely opaque. There we go. Go ahead and copy this. Oops. Control C. There we go. Click Control V. This down. And I'll change this to sign up. There we go. So now we have our buttons. And so another feature I wanted to show you guys is like this cool kind of, here we go, center this a little bit more. This cool sort of like inner shadow that you can do. So instead of, for this shape, instead of having the shadow be external on the outside, you can make it look it's not what I want. No, I want to be able to show this. Background blurs off. Border. This is not showing me what I expected it to, so never mind. That'll be a feature for a later day. But I still really enjoy like what this looks like, and I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. And it gives you the same like what's the vocabulary word? Is the conceptual mapping that most people are expecting when they go into a login and sign up. So we will just stick with this, and I can show you how to prototype. Now this part is going to be, since we only did 2 artboards, let me go ahead and change the name of this. Since we only did 2 artboards, this prototype is going to be very straightforward and simple. But once you are done with this and you like it, definitely Control S so you can save it, or you can go to like File and save, but I can't now because I already did Control S. And then press Prototype, which is going to switch you over to a slightly different format. It's going to look the same until you try to click on something, such as this. So I'm going to have sign up on the login page. If I were to be using an app and I saw that there was a sign up kind of button that looked like it could be selected, then I expect to be able to click on it and move to that page. So what Adobe XD allows you to do is simulate that interaction without like the coding that would typically require it. So I can click on sign up. It's going to highlight this object, and then I just drag this arrow to here. So it highlights, as you can see, it highlights like this whole artboard. And that when we click on this in the prototype, once we like play the prototype, it will take us to this artboard. And we're going to do the same thing for login. So I'm going to click here on login. I'm going to move this arrow over to the login page. So that way when we click on these respective, when we click on these respective objects, then they will take us to the pages that we want to be at. Let me just add something else just so it's a little bit more exciting. I'll add in another artboard. Oops. Wait, okay, I'm gonna go back to design. I'll add. This should just be the. Oh, okay. So if you click anywhere, like it's gonna continue adding artboards. Just as a note there, because I definitely just threw myself off a little bit with that. This one, okay, wait, I did what I wasn't supposed to do earlier, and I don't want to, actually, I'll go ahead and just put some text in here and just say, yay. You did it. So when we sign up, I'll save this for prototype. And so when I press sign up, I'll have it go to this just so we have like something else to look at, or like more than 2 things to look at. So, okay, and then I can I'll say, yay, we did it, and we can go back to login. So there's a whole little flow that we've got going on right there. So, see all of these. When I click on my artboard, I can see all of the different connections that I have, and this looks the way I want it to look. Okay, great. So now that we're here, save again, because you always save your work. And I'm gonna go up to this right-hand corner. I can press play, and it'll give me a desktop preview of what this application, okay, so what the artboards that we've created, like in the design world and really any technical world, are called wireframes. So we've created the wireframes, and now we're trying to, or we want to show a prototype. So this is like a medium high fidelity prototype. So in order to do that, after we set up the prototype relationships, we can go up here, press play, and Adobe XD does this fun little thing where I'll go ahead and make this full screen so we can see it in the middle, right? So we're on our page, and for the sake of the prototype, the mouse is going to look like the regular clicker until you hover over something that can be clicked. So that's really nice in case you get lost. So we're going to click sign up, and boom, it changes, or it goes to our sign up screen. So it looks like it's interacting the way that we expect it to. Okay, we've done these different things. Say we enter these different, we enter some information. We can click sign up. Yay, you did it. And we were over here, right? Oh no, I can't click on anything. Just kidding. Hovered. We can click on this, and it'll take us back to login. An additional thing to note about prototyping and creating wireframes is that when you do this, like the Adobe XD doesn't allow me, as far as I know, or for all the implementation that I've ever used, like it doesn't allow people to, like, when they're prototyping, like actually click in, type words, like interact with it. If you wanted to show that, like, a first name, a last name, an email, a username, a password can be entered into this, you would have to create 5 additional artboards that, like, show these things filled in, and then, like, have them click, or like have the interactivity look like, or like have them move between artboards, and like make these different relationships like move between artboards to make it seem like people were entering information. So it can get a little bit tedious in that respect, but this is perfect for prototyping. It's perfect for showing people the gist of what you want them to know. So like if I were presenting this to a client or a company, then I would be able to show, like, there's going to be a login page. This is going to be the general interaction. Like, they're going to be able to enter this information and then go ahead and log in. Or if they want to sign up, they'll be able to click on this. It'll take you to this page. They'll enter this information and they'll sign up. So that's the kind of use that you can really get out of this. But with that, just for continuity, I'm going to go ahead and change the name of the Yay page. But with that, I am done with this presentation. If no one has any questions, then I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I'm trying to think of anything else that I could really show, but this is really how the basics of how you use Adobe XD. Similar software is like Figma, or like even Sketch on like with Apple products. But this is, yeah, the gist of Adobe XD, and that's all I have for this presentation. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I hope everyone enjoyed this presentation and have a good night.